Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, I want to have a little bit of a laid-back showcase over here of what PlayStation PSSR is. Now, as I'm sure you guys know, the PlayStation 5 Pro is coming out hopefully very, very soon, and there's a few cool integral hardware upgrades. A better GPU, a overclockable CPU, somewhat better memory, better SSD, and of course a better APU, which is like the general, overall processing unit for the console. And a few other little things and bits and whistles and a little bit more of even better power supplies and stuff like that. But that's all on the hardware side. One of the best selling points I could probably see so far for the PS5 Pro is the PSSR, which is technically the PlayStation AI, for lack of better terms, that will let your games go and kind of take the load a little bit off of the GPU and off of the CPU, and someone also using a software-based, in combination with that too as well, to go make your games look and feel better. And I think it's somewhat confusing to explain, and I think I've tried to do this 6 months ago in a video, but I'm going to try to go show with a lot of different types of pictures and updates and kind of give you guys a little bit of a deep dive of what is so special with the PlayStation 5 Pro AI technology. So hope you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy. Please make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We're going to give you guys a lot more details on the PS5 Pro when I go buy them, and probably give one away too as well. So you guys want a chance to win one for free for the holidays, I got you guys. And of course, leave your thoughts and comments on everything down below. So, as you guys may have seen, I'll showcase up some articles or whatever. Basically, the PSSR is a intriguing upscaling technology utilizing AI to make games better. Now, people usually like it when YouTubers get to the point, so let me just show you guys this, and we'll do a little bit more yap throughout it. As you go and make things with games, you have a lot of different things like textures and wall assets, lighting, or whatever it might go and be. Bricks on a wall, like water, sand in the ocean, whatever it might be. Or even things like hair follicles or skin follicles. And I'm going to try to explain this the best I can from how I understand it. Is if you look at these two different pictures, you can kind of tell a pretty big difference. Maybe hard to see on a YouTube video or in quick glance, but you can kind of see a little bit more facial technology. Like you basically see a little bit more pores and indents in the face and little bumps, but as well the hair also seems more refined, a little bit less clumped together, a little bit more better lighting, and it's kind of you can somewhat fill in the blanks a little bit better. Maybe a good example is the lips. You see those little bit of lighting effects on there. The shading looks a bit more better. And this is just a rough idea of how you can see the difference between the two. I'm also kind of covering a part of it, but you probably get the rough idea. That's what you want to look at. So how does this kind of benefit things through utilizing AI and upscaling? Now, I keep on using this as an example where if you have a lot of the same similar textures, technology, colors, wall features, lighting, whatever it might be, you can utilize AI to kind of copy and paste it, and then utilize that as well to fill in the blanks to make things run a little bit better. Now, it's kind of crazy because there's a random weird Samsung video I found of all things with 63K views. It doesn't really show that much. And I'll go a little bit more in depth of what the PSSR is, but I'm trying to show you guys the live demonstration of it, where you basically have prior technology that you can go and fill in and kind of update and see. Now, this is not always a one-to-one, but it's kind of a good rough idea of how it, this is rough example, where you have all these same copy and paste things, and you have a chance then to go and use that same copy paste technology to clean the image and make it nicer to see. So right here, these are probably the two frames that matter. And if you guys maybe say look at a cat, a cat's probably a perfect example, or even background stuff, because this is the same background basically just copied and paste, copied and paste, copied and paste, just in separate runarounds. Or same with the towel, copy and paste it, or even the cat, although it's not fully copy paste, it's a lot of the same a little bit of white or a little bit of orange textures, and you can fill in the blank with it. So look at how this whole entire image looks pixely beforehand. You can kind of see how it looks a bit blurry. You still have the rough idea of what it looks like, and then you can fine-tune specific areas. And this is always, I say, a good example. Maybe blades of grass, maybe things in the sky like clouds, maybe trees, maybe flowers, maybe bricks on a wall, maybe a fence. A lot of general gaming textures that you may not necessarily need to have be perfected, but it would be symmetrical and similar either way. And you can utilize that then for older, outdated technology. So imagine a game say Spider-Man. Let's say Spider-Man 1, so a little bit more on the dated side. It was not as fine-tuned and optimized as, say, Spider-Man 2, because maybe it was built for PS4. But with it being on the PS4 technology, it's a little bit of a dated game. It still looks great, looks phenomenal, but it's not that crisp, 8K. technology, which is also very taxing too as well. We'll get to the taxing part in a second. But you have that where it's like you have these old textures that are good, like a 720p, 1080p texture, like a slower resolution, but utilizing better super sampling and AI technology, they can have all of these games pulled together to somehow fine tune and optimize like the resolution and rendering to make the games even upscale better, or even older games too as well. And that's where the technology gets really, really intriguing. Some good examples, I've showed some stuff over here from like say like a Reddit thread, and you guys can kind of see this on a quick glance, where this is maybe a really good rough idea, or AI can kind of push this. Like you have an old school style game, and this looks like this is from like the PS2. And now this doesn't necessarily look like a PS5 game, I mean like a PS4 game, still looks nice. And there's still issues, I mean look at the arm, like that's not looking good at all, or like the body, but it has a chance to kind of fill in the blank and kind of like, almost like smooth things on over. It's like a chalk drawing, you can like smooth it on in. And that's why I think it's very intriguing to see this, because this is like the technology that people are going for. So basically the PSR, the kind of like the more technical side, to be very first integrated to the PS5 Pro with the PSSR, because it's internally aiming for a 4K 120 FPS or 8K 60 FPS console gaming. And how do you kind of utilize that? Because the console is still good, it's still nice, it's like a good, well-working, well-priced machine, but to have and run 8K 60 or even 8K 30 is really hard. And that's why they're trying to push this gaming like AI upscaling type vibe for it, so people have a chance to, you know, utilize it. So basically, if you can kind of take the load off the GPU and CPU and all that shit, like that's good. That's basically making your GPU have to go run and optimize better and focus on like the game. So let's say for Wukong, for a good example, Wukong has a lot of animations in the game. So as you're doing these like cool like flashes and there's flame effects and everything, they could even maybe utilize things like in copy paste or an AI to have flames throughout a map or like from an enemy attack in 10 different areas. But because it's basically using AI and kind of almost individually rendering it out, they're able then to go and embrace the game a little bit more. Like they don't have to basically generate and make more stuff, because it's basically able to optimize what they're copy and pasting. From at least from all my understanding, and maybe some in the comment section can just a little bit better if they need to, but I'm just trying my best to give like the basic for it. And it's cool because they are saying right now the PS5 Pro will be incorporating this PSSR technology, like this upscaling, able to go bring up like older games, PS4 games to PS5, or as well having like those same technology a developer even makes from the game dev side, and then able to use AI to fill in the blanks, as I mentioned, which will basically take the load off of your console. So good examples like a brick on a wall, fence in a field, a random trees, where you don't really need them to be like so fine-tuned and perfect, and you can kind of let it like optimize and render out through the software side to make it better. And this is why it's kind of cool, because it's not currently available, I believe, on the PS5, but this is maybe going to be pushed for the PS5 Pro. That's like their kind of big selling point, and most likely utilize and kind of picking up technology for the PS6 over time. Basically use this for a few years. They maybe can bolster up the AI, and usually AI and machine learning is better over time with the bigger sample size of what you have. So right now, currently the PSSR works on the SKD 9.0 and the PlayStation 5 Pro to be in that 4K resolutions. So while the internal specs may not be the best when it comes to like, I mean, a 45% GPU increase is nice, but the CPU is a bit lower. You can then kind of somewhat offset the, I don't want to say it's lesser improvements, because it's still good depending on the price, but like you can then utilize AI to then even fill in the blanks even more. It's kind of like you can have a better car. So you build a better engine. That's a win either way. And that's kind of what like a normal car to a PS5 Pro would be. Better engine, better wheels, better vibes. But then what about the software side to make it sell better? Well, maybe it has like self-driving. So the car itself is still slightly better. Better specs, better efficiency. Maybe it's like turns into electric, whatever, you know, like how it would progress. But then it would also then have that software side to maybe go and optimize gas mileage, where you maybe have your car start coasting when you're coming to a stop, or you're already coasting at 80 miles an hour and there's no reason to do it. Or maybe like the car is in front of you and the AI realizes it, so they try to slow you down and kind of like just take off the gas and wheel to conserve energy. Now, it's not going to go and change the car's fundamentals, like the engine and like the steering wheels, or the wheels, or whatever, like the bread and butter of it. So the PS5 Pro itself. But it would go and change the optimization of, like I said, how sometimes you can maybe go and then charge your car by maybe stepping on brakes, or you can maybe take a different route, and that would save you over time electricity and power. Or as well, maybe you just have a chance to go and start coasting or whatever it might be. Turn off lights automatically to make the whole system one more efficient. And that may not be the best metaphor, but it's the best way to put it. Basically, right now, the PS5 Pro will have this cool technology that's basically utilizing its AI to upscale and fill in the blanks the best they can. And I think that's awesome to go and see, because they're basically saying right now the conditions have not been made public so far, but they want to push this 4K 120 or 8K 60 FPS, and they have to go and utilize AI because it is hardcore to do. It's a very a big jump. So that's kind of, I think, the rough idea and standard of how to do this. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but it's kind of like you look at all these AI upscalers and kind of go and see, and you can utilize the same technology to fill in the blanks and make games run a little bit nicer and a little bit better and with a more crystal quality clear vision. So hopefully I explained that pretty well. Fingers crossed. If not, I tried. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch down below, and I appreciate y'all very much for watching in the first place.